Now, next year, 2018, is projected to be a very difficult one for Ghanaian cocoa farmers as the world commodity price continues to drop. That's the anticipation by Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahene Edu. He expressed the sentiment in an interaction with media personnel following a meeting with farmers in Kumasi.
World price for cocoa continued to take a nosedive, hitting a 4-year low largely due to excess supply among other factors. Benchmark cocoa futures on the Intercontinental Exchange in New York hit $2,052 per metric ton last February, the lowest since March 2013. A bumper crop last season from good weather in West Africa is weighing down heavily on prices. Ivory Coast and Ghana are the world's top producers, accounting for over 2/3 of global supply. The meeting with farmers from across the cocoa regions was to engage them on prices so that it will not come as a surprise when government decides to stabilize or renegotiate the price of the commodity.
And the price that we all know has been 7,600 Ghana cedis per ton. Now, this was pegged on the basis that the international price was averaged at $2,900. At that time, the price volatility was between $2,200 and then $2,700. So it was averaged at $2,900. As we speak today, the price volatility is running between $2,100 and then $1,800. So we have averaged it at $1,900 per ton. Now you realize that already about $1,000, has been lost from the international market.
Currently, a ton of cocoa is sold at 7,600 Ghana cedis, pegged on the basis of the international price average at $2,900. The commodity price is now running between $1,800 and $2,100. It is imperative to note Cocoa Board is doing forward sale, which means it has already sold out the country's stock.
We are doing forward sales. Therefore, even as the cocoa trees are flowering now, we've already sold our cocoa. And then again, we are currently selling the black crop beans that are for next year, 2018. And we are selling the black crop beans at this low price of $1,900, which will further be discounted at 20%.
Mr. Boahene Edu says there are difficult times ahead.
It means that next year we are going to enter a very difficult year for the cocoa industry and also for the Ghanaian economy. We will have to sell our cocoa at a lower price, but then we have to decide whether to reduce the producer price or let it stay there or increase the price. As we speak now, the producer price in Côte d'Ivoire and the neighboring countries has been reduced, but we cannot do that. We are still, selling at 7,600 Ghana cedis.
Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin reporting.
Now, today, 7th July 2017, is the sweetest day in the year. That's right. It marks 465 years since chocolate was introduced to Europe and by extension, the world. In the past 5 centuries, the sweet confectionery has spawned an industry that is worth more than $100 billion. Now, for most Ghanaians, the cocoa industry is known as the mainstay of the economy. One of its end products, patronized worldwide, chocolate, unfortunately doesn't receive that much attention. The story is not different across Africa, and the numbers tell it all. Even though Africa produces 75% of all the cocoa in the world, the continent gets only 2% of the $100 billion revenue from the chocolate industry. So as we mark the sweetest day of the year, we want to find out why the chocolate story is the way it is and how we can move it forward. So first, let's hear from the farmers where cocoa is grown and which is later processed to make chocolate.
etia me ma bia koko school train college na mo wie ai se obi chira de ebi nso wie SS and nso to de pam ni nyina o nso bo hu ai se no pam na de e wo nwe he ya me fi wo nwe so na pa na mbo bo hu ofie nyina bibia wie a na fe mesi kwa so fa kai timbedro fo mu a ma pe bi ka credit dim di wie a ma hye me mpaboa na me ko fo mu nyina na hye ma wura friends ma ya dwom de mu do saa kokoro so be ya me ametem de so so a me ti gu ho na ma bo me bo ma buru na de be fi na be hata nte wo am de ko hye ma ko ha me de ko a se bag mi yinu se bag num ya credit dim sika ma me na me ma de ya be fie na ya sen krofo ba se kokoro no o ma be to gwada ya asasro moto e be income pot e ya se ya mpene ilampot e ya se ya mpene mbo bu nton sa kokoro no fanya sa ade no na ya na boy ma yedim hwe ma school ni ade nyina to me sa de mba ha ya pa ne ne sam ketwa ya ni bre pa ti ya fi o ma ha bi ode tina se ti se so mo sa kan ho ma me man so be gina ha ya o so mo mpene be gina kwa so sa to be won sa wo mbo hu ko fi o ma bi o so bo na kokoro ta ko du bi na dua kokoro dua nsi wono na ho be pinsuo saa na se mfimfini yiba saa te se abo bia eni gu wona eba no ti du na se hwe na isa na abu dua de awuram tu di wuram saa no a na se abo ntin pinsu be saa na owu no akam ti hia no ho dro pa mo dre mo wae se be nya dua di be gugu a e be saa mo wa no mo nya saa de bio na sa do be se kokoro no se no de first no mble bi ne de gu so na benfie be num ni so mbre ye blame di iti ma me de gu so na ekọ benfie num de nya bibio de se ne ekọ store koto ni da be gu so afra so mbre first gu ase first ne kura be ya anso me fo so pa bi da do hwa na bi su nie so mbre o ma me num pe na me de gu ase ele chiro msa blame num ne e kan ma ne ye edu e fo mi hu ase bio. When
was the last time you ate chocolate?
Chocolate in few million. We be a touch me. Or better catch him some intimidate me when hey, I don't know the pa. Where is the beer on the hamlet one over my hands to time lembi? Would you credit pound or the other pa? Or the pound idea? So come the beans why the beer will rubber get to beam. And it's a beer, hey. None I come cast of me or pepper, none like it way. The beer or no, what did you tell my baby.
Today is World Chocolate Day, and as a cocoa farmer, what do you make of it?
Mama, so cool. Come fast, so I'm with me in the honey. I didn't free one more day as I don't know. Name the pa, the many J. And I just a good mark. A man and two so good man for so pa. Timbusuya, I may.
Now, joining us in the studio is a Greek economist and lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Irene Ejiri, and CEO of the Sweet Art Company, makers of Moments Premium Chocolate, Ruth Amwa. Welcome, ladies, and I hope you're having a sweet day already.
Yes, yes, we are.
But we've already heard from the farmers themselves, and for the benefit of those of our listeners who may not understand that was a cocoa farmer you just saw. Among other things, she named some of the challenges she's facing as a farmer, the need for inputs such as chemicals and insecticide. And she also mentioned that the last time she ate a bar of chocolate was 2 years ago. It was a gift, and she's glad that what she makes for a living has been developed into such a product. Dr. Ejiri, let me begin with you. Are you surprised to hear something like that from a cocoa farmer?
No, I'm happy that it's only 2 years ago.
That means there are others for which it's been long.
Of course. Chocolate needn't be in the basket of the rural farmer. Because, you know, our farmers have a livelihood that suggests that processed products may not be the thing they spend their money on. So if you live in Tano Dumase, and Tano Dumase is in the Achumamponwa district, where cocoa is produced, if you took a bus in 10 minutes, you will be in Bibiani. A lot of stores are selling chocolates. But because it's not something that the farmer thinks about, plans with, she or he is not likely to purchase. And so I'm not surprised.
So that's what has created the disconnect between the farmers who farm cocoa and the chocolates. The fact that it's not something they plan with.
Yes, because it's above chocolate. It's 5 cedis. You can get 2 cedis. You get. I'm talking about the CPC
average,
one.
yeah.
Yes, it's 5 cedis. And I work with farmers. Sometimes I go with chocolate and say, this is your end product. They're excited about it. But you know, how much does the farmer earn to plan with chocolate? I don't even plan with chocolate. I have a 15-year-old, yes,
which was my
who
next
will
question,
disturb me with ice cream, chocolate ice cream, so I have to buy probably a few times a month. But I don't plan it.
So it's not
because
just the farmers,
it is not the African. Yes, it is not part of our upbringing. It is a Western culture, and if you go to the history, cocoa beans itself was promoted by when we were in the colonial period, when the West needed the beans for their chocolate. You gave a history of how chocolate has been here with us. Is it
465 years?
Exactly. So we are supposed to be producing for an end market, and it is not strange. So if you want to market it to be part of the household basket in rural areas, then there should be what the marketers call promotion. Because we are not born with it. When I'm being weaned, I'm weaned with cocoa. So if I'm not eating maize, you should question that. But if I'm not eating chocolate, I don't think that we need to question that.
Right.
If you want it promoted.
So it's about promotion. We'll go a bit more into promotion and what else we need to do generally.
It's not an indigenous...
Yeah, it's not an indigenous product.
Now they say it's not a tribal diet.
Okay.
That's what they call it.
So, Ruth, you are at the production end. So I'm glad I've been sandwiched by women. We have a female cocoa farmer, there's a female cocoa expert, and I have a female cocoa entrepreneur. Are you surprised by what Dr. Eju is saying?
Well, not necessarily. I think for most of these farmers, their incomes are not so great because of the way, the purchase price of cocoa and stuff like that. So I think it's not part of their staple diet. It's not something, they're looking for money for school fees and not for chocolates. I mean, they can buy for 5 cedis. They could probably buy cocoa yam and contomere and all of that and cook a meal for the entire house. So chocolate really would be the last thing on their mind. So I'm not surprised at all.
But it's not just limited to farmers, is it? From what she's suggesting, even in average homes, because it's not a tribal diet, to borrow that expression, so many Ghanaians don't go in for chocolates. Have you noticed that?
I don't believe that. I think people would eat the chocolate if it was available and it was packaged properly. I think you have to give people a reason to pick up a product. Yes, and I think some people are also attracted to certain things. So if they see it and it looks flashy, at least everyone, I think, will try it once and then maybe not again if it doesn't meet, the taste doesn't meet the branding. So I really don't believe that, because a lot of people buy chocolate in Ghana and we import a lot of chocolate. So if people weren't buying the chocolate, nobody would be importing chocolate. We import Swiss chocolate, a lot, Lindt and all those kind of things. If you go to supermarkets, it's full of those chocolates. Even Turkish chocolate. Some chocolates, it doesn't even have cocoa butter in there and we're importing it. That's how bad it is. So that's obviously, it goes to show that people are actually eating the chocolate.
So there's a market in there, but I see a link between what you are saying and what the doctor was saying, because she was speaking of promotion. And you find adverts of Cadbury and all the other products out there.
Yeah.
We don't find so many here, but as it is now,
I've never seen a local Ghanaian chocolate advert, ever.
Yeah, I remember, I have vague memories of it when I was a child.
Well, I never saw one.
Yeah. So how would you say generally, from an entrepreneur's point of view, you are in the market, how would you say we are doing?
I think we're doing very well. We just need more of us, because I think, again, we're so used to not doing the value addition here, and I think we're so used to importing things. So I think that's kind of put a down on things. But if we were producing more, people would buy more and promoting it more. They're seeing adverts fancy stuff on TV. There's a Cadbury advert with a monkey drumming and stuff like that. It's, you know, everyone's excited. So we need to do more to promote our local brands. I think that's probably... Yeah.
Well, Doctor, it's not just chocolate bars, is it? Because we also have cocoa products like drinks.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is very popular locally.
This way chocolate drink is one of the popular ones.
Yeah, we don't want to,
but that's not even pure cocoa. I mean, that's not.
Okay.
That's not even. That's neither here nor there. The local one is actually much better. The Golden Tree one, because it's pure cocoa powder. So yeah, people drink that a lot. I think they drink it in cold form and hot forms and stuff. Very popular.
So you are talking about brands like this. I have in my hand King's Bite milk chocolate, one of the oldest ones, and of course Ruth would want to raise one of hers.
Oh yes.
As well. We also have some Moments. She asked me to say it this way: Moments Premium
Ghanaian chocolate.
Ghanaian chocolate.
Yes.
Only your slangs with the chocolate.
Is it more chocolate than
so
milk?
this is what we are speaking
Is it
of.
milk more?
Yes.
Or is it
Not necessarily.
milk,
It's the regular standard
chocolates?
chocolate, just with
Okay.
inclusions.
Okay. So nuts. Okay, toffee and coffee.
Mm.
That's nice.
So,
I didn't know
Ruth,
about this one.
of all the cocoa products you could have gone into, we've already mentioned drinks. There's even cocoa butter.
Yeah.
And there's
spread.
soap and there's what have you. Why did you pick chocolate bars?
It was a starting point for me because I was always criticizing packaging of local products. And I was looking to do something different and add value in a way that it will compete internationally on the shelves and also give artisans of Ghana like a good name, because we really didn't have any artisan. Well, I was the first artisan to make chocolate at home. And there's cocoa everywhere. The kids in the farming area should be able to make chocolate. It's that simple. But no one's teaching them, because what they don't want to do is they don't want you to make chocolate so that you don't give them cocoa beans anymore. I think that's pretty much what goes on. So if we make our own chocolate...
Some would say you're being a conspiracy theorist.
But actually, if we made our own chocolate, why wouldn't people come and buy our chocolate instead? And then they add value, and then we buy it back into Ghana. Do you know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't really be buying back chocolates when we have the raw material. The source of the raw material is very important. So why would we sell our cocoa beans and then buy it back in chocolate finished products? It didn't make sense.
So for you, it was a passion thing.
It was. I mean, I remember there was a lady, GIPC, the CEO, the previous CEO, and she was talking about how Ghana always wants to be the best producer. Mawina. And she was like, oh, Ghana always wants to be the best producer of every raw material, but never any end products. And for me, it just sent serious light bulbs off in my head, because I was like, that's so true. We have all these beans. In England, they don't even grow one single bean. They don't grow cocoa. But if you see the chocolates on the market, there's over 500 different types.
Sankuma often says he entered a chocolate shop in Switzerland, and he was awed by the many flavors there were. And it hit him that the closest cocoa tree to Switzerland is here.
Yeah. And yet we don't do anything with the cocoa.
It's quite disturbing.
It's
so
mind-boggling, really.
Let's look at it at the international market. And Doc, I'm coming to you with this one. What is hindering us from taking advantage of this $100 billion industry?
Plus.
Yes. So I told you about history. When beans or the tree was introduced, it was not introduced in a value chain fashion. So we were supposed to use our peasant farmers. And remember, we don't even have entrepreneurs or business people doing cocoa farming. So that is one. These are people who are doing their food crops, and they've been told that they could get more money by diversifying. So they put some trees. You heard the lady saying, they have not brought us fertilizer. They have not brought us. Is that a business person? They have not brought us. Who is this person? And yet you go sell your 1 ton. Let's say your 1 ton is from 2 hectares, 7,600, and you plow all back into the cocoa and other cash crops that you have, other food crop. The cocoa farmer maybe has about 20 other crops. Then you go to Medicare, you go to child education, funerals, other things. She's not even thinking about applying back part of this much into the cocoa. So from day one, the chain is determined, and we have studied it. But the actors in the chain are not having that attitude. And this morning I was sharing with a platform that we have. We are promoting organic cocoa as well. And it's sad because the farmers are still asking for somebody to bring me the inputs and somebody to help me to even plant, to fell those diseased trees, to say that these are old, replace them. You get me?
But isn't it a matter of lack of know-how on their part?
There is a whole Cocoa Health and Extension Directorate. Every one of the 216 districts has agricultural extension agents who are also having information, and I go and do research there. So I know that we don't have a lot of the frontline staff, but some information has gone, and then we also have what we think that the fathers are passing down to the sons and daughters. So there's some information which we can use.
The sense I'm getting is that there's still a lot of a subsistence mentality. I'm farming to feed my children this evening.
And that is the farmer we are talking about. We are not talking about a business person who is thinking about this end market and therefore doing the planning to reach here so that when it's coming back or part of it is staying here as the processing end with her. I'm surprised that this is the market. I have never profiled. Yes, I have about 6. I know there are about 6 processing, companies, and you mentioned the Cargill, Nestle, Pomisidor.
None of them local, but well.
Yes, but they're here, and they are the people we work with or we train our students with. That these are the people who are processing. Some are just mailing and sending it out, and some are doing these, end products. Okay. So what I'm saying is that nothing stops the businessman, but the businessman is not here.
He's not at the beginning stage where the farmers are.
So the big men here are only doing what I call vocational, I have money. So occasionally I say I have 10 hectares. I don't even go look at it. It's my cousins or some things there
who are actually doing the work.
So occasionally I'll give them chemicals or whatever, and then expect the government to also push it. The whole cocoa chain is being pushed
to educate the members of this cocoa value chain so that we can have more people moving from one end to the other.
I personally think it's a mindset thing. I think it's a I don't know if it's a generational, I don't want to call it a curse but you know what I mean, there's people are stuck in their ways in Ghana, and the way they know how to do something is that's it. Like I don't know, but yeah, it's a generational thing, and so I think I don't know how you're going to rehabilitate people, or I really don't.
So it's about sensitizing them.
No. I think
all the sensitization in the world,
no, but I think she's coming. It's people like her, the business people, the entrepreneurs, the people who are passionate and therefore would like to look at the product and add value and do things like that. I am not sure that this woman we saw is able to think value addition. No.
I want to go around the whole of Ghana and teach people how to make chocolate. I wish government would have a campaign like that. I would teach you how to grind it on a stone. You know the stone that they used to grind pepper? You can make chocolate like that, and that's how it's made in some parts of the world.
This woman has 20 other crops.
I can teach people.
You get me? 20 other crops, and sometimes livestock. Okay. Why do you want her to add value at that end? When machinery is here to do it neatly. Do you get me? Because we're talking food safety here. You saw the children going to school under trees. So you want our processing to be done under trees?
Okay, so let's begin
for themselves, so they can eat chocolate themselves.
Let's begin to look at the promotion end. One thing I have noticed is that Ghanaian businessmen in general would go where they know there is money.
Well, there is money here, so they should go.
But have they been shown? And the question is, have they been shown there is money? Has the average consumer of Ghanaian chocolates, for instance, been told of the health benefits of chocolates?
Yes, because 10 years ago.
I sit in a media organization and I don't see any such, enough sensitization of the public of this is what we should be doing. This is what is good about it. I was listening, for instance, to someone talk about senior high schools. A lot of senior high schools serve cocoa or some sort
Cocoa
of cocoa
drink or
drink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once a
Is it
a week.
is it made into something sort of? Is it made habitual? So that people would come out of every SHS knowing that look, cocoa is the best thing to have in the morning. So even after school, I put it in there. I'm just throwing these out for us to think around.
Yeah, how did you get Milo in your head like that?
Mm.
It was there. That's it. The school I went to every Sunday, we had high tea, and it was Milo.
necessarily the best. I mean, the raw thing. You could literally grind the beans and add your sugar in your milk, and it's the best hot chocolate
the
in the world.
brown gold things that are here.
But what I'm saying is, we're always looking to buy a finished product. Why can't you just grind your own beans? Trust me, when you go to the Switzerland and stuff like that, the best cocoa drinks is just cocoa beans ground with sugar and milk. You're done. Straight
these
from
are
the
health
source.
products
It's
now.
healthier.
Yes,
So
they
you know
call
what's in
them
there because you did it at
health,
home.
but-
I'm not saying don't go and buy things. don't shoot me. But I'm saying you can learn to be doing these at home if you're into it for the health benefits. And so I think that's the whole thing. Everyone thinks everything is so hard. And
But what are some of these health benefits that, I mean, for our listeners to know?
Yeah.
That's a biochemistry.
it's great for your heart. But obviously, people are buying the wrong people. I always have a problem with this. People always say, "Oh, dark chocolate is amazing; it's great for you." It depends on the percentage. If it's 70% dark chocolate, it means 30% of it is sugar. If it's 50% dark chocolate, it means 50% of it is sugar. So you need to check in those things. Everyone thinks dark chocolate is healthy. It could be 30% dark chocolate. Meanwhile, it means it's 70% sugar. So people need to educate themselves on and not just follow the trends just because it says it's dark chocolate and it's healthy and stuff like that. So, well, there's a lot of...
It's nearly time for us to go. I would like us to end with basically your comments on what we need for this to move forward. If we want to move forward and see Ghanaian entrepreneurs like yourself putting us on the map when it comes to the chocolate industry rather, what readily do you think we would need? Ruth, let me begin.
I personally think even today, on a day like this, it's International Cocoa Day or Chocolate Day, there's not much going on in Ghana. I'm not sure what's happening in
The world.
It's the whole world celebrating this. And for us to be the second largest producer of cocoa, there should be a lot more being done. And all the things you're talking about, today is a great day to sensitize people on all those things. Nothing is happening. Who is responsible for getting people to know more about chocolate or cocoa or value addition? I'm not sure. I don't hear anything. It goes by. Even the chocolate day, the Valentine's Day, that's dubbed Chocolate Day, hardly anything really goes on. You'd buy your girlfriend or your boyfriend some chocolate and pretty much that's it. There's not really enough being done.
So sometimes do you get this feeling that you are standing in that gap that the state has left?
I don't have the money, otherwise I'll be running like a mile a minute. I really, if I had the money,
of you.
I wish I was. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I was in charge of cocoa processing. You know, stuff like that. I wish I was the head of Cocoa Board.
You would have been more frustrated,
Honestly,
I'm telling you.
that's what-
because you will not be given the budget to do what you are saying you should do. Because the budget has been given for a number of things in the chain. Unfortunately, Cocoa Board is actually more interested in getting our quality cocoa move out, because that has been its
Well, then there
mandate.
should be another organization.
Then they have so they have created a cocoa processing company
which makes
to
golden tree.
exactly to do that, and is expecting private sector now to partner. You know, we go to Ministry of Trade and Industry. There are all kinds of projects that they are doing to get the PPPs, the public-private partnerships, so that what you are talking about can
happen.
move.
Okay,
But
so Doc, let's
to
move
depend on
into what
states,
we have
I know
to
it
do.
is not possible.
Immediately, what would we have to do?
Yes, private sector should wake up.
Okay.
That is what I'm saying, because
More people like Ruth?
yes,
Well,
that
more
is
people with
what
more money, though.
yes, because the state is not going to promote the value addition further than it has done now.
Well, they are
That is
now.
how I see it. It is doing well, has created the cocoa processing company as, for me, a pilot that you can see.
Okay.
It has its own problems, but it has opened up. It's a liberal market.
So
There's
it's time
no
for the private
restriction.
sector to come in.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
I'm
ask
nearly
for
out
the
of time.
information and then
Right.
partner government to push
To move forward,
our cocoa
maybe we
industry
should have some
forward.
cocoa processing factories as part of one district, one factory. Ruth,
Yes,
the
we
way
have
forward
6.
in a minute.
Oh, for me, I get exactly what you just said. They need to look at us. I think, yes, it's all about agriculture and stuff like that, but the value addition, the money is in the value addition of the bean. So I think we should kind of tone it down on the export and stuff like that, and see how we can actually do more, add some value, and then people can come and buy the value added products. And then we can make more money, and then we don't have to go borrowing money all the time.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Amwa is the CEO of the Sweet Company, producers of Moments Premium.
Guardian.
I like that, yeah.
And Dr. Irene Eju is an Agric economist. She is also a lecturer in the university.